Greetings, Rebel fans. My name is Jason Kelly. This is the Let's Run podcast. Everybody, welcome to the show today. Grateful to talk to you as we break down UNLV's 89-47 victory over La Sierra. It was certainly a game with a lot of ups, a couple of downs, kind of fun. These games are kind of sucky, though, let's be honest. This is the Let's Run podcast. All right, everybody, welcome to the show today. Grateful to have you. Grateful to have you be a part of the Let's Run podcast. Going to be a short show tonight as it's a little late. Just got back from the Thomas and Mack, where I watched your Runnin' Rebels take down La Sierra. La Sierra was kind of an interesting team. 2 minutes after I left, number 15 scored a dunk. Yeah, I saw that. He finally did score. That La Sierra team was very interesting because they kind of centered their game plan around a 7'3" center named Jasper Reynalda, who was horrible. He played 32 minutes, so he led the team in minutes, only finished with 4 points, only had a 1 shot attempt, 4 free throws, only 6 rebounds. He had 3 turnovers, 1 block, and 2 personal fouls. I cannot overstate how bizarre that La Sierra team was. Their whole game plan centered around this dude, and he was not capable of really participating in meaningful basketball. He did not move well. And the Rebels, they played about 10 minutes of pretty hard basketball. They took a 21-0 lead. And then you could tell that the Rebels certainly started playing a lot sloppier. Now, look, every team gets at least one game like this every single season. It's pretty standard for teams, so UNLV is not unique in the fact that they played a game like this against a team as bad as La Sierra. In fact, I'm pretty sure UNLV has played La Sierra before. If I remember correctly, UNLV played La Sierra in 2022, maybe 2021. La Sierra is, it's a Division II school. I mean, it's not even a Division II school. They're NAIA. And so, La Sierra, definitely not a school that you wish to be playing very often. But, each school gets a game like this so that they can tune up their offense and defense. And, while these games have minimal value in my view, sometimes you think, oh, it'll be really good. We'll be able to play a bad team, or we'll get our bench guys some reps. It'll be a nice home win. Sometimes I feel like when you're playing teams like this La Sierra team, you end up just kind of developing bad habits that transition into the next game when you're not playing competition quite as bad as La Sierra. One of the reasons why you might play a team like this is to kind of get shooting reps. And frankly, the Rebels shot terribly in this game. Let's break down the stats. Howie Fleming Jr. Led the Rebels in offensive rate, or was one of the best Rebels in terms of offensive rating. I thought he had a pretty good game. I liked his game a lot. He finishes 4 of 5 from 2, 1 of 4 from 3, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, only 1 turnover, and 4 steals. Howie Fleming was easily my favorite player to watch tonight, although he was not the Rebels' leading scorer. That honor would go to Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn, who had 19 points, was 3 of 4 from the three-point line, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, had 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He did have 6 turnovers. The Rebel guards didn't take care of the ball super well in this game. A lot of turnovers for them. Did have 5 steals and a block to help make up for that. I thought Dre, outside of that first 15-minute stretch, was pretty sloppy, honestly, tonight. Still, he scored the ball very well. He was very efficient. But I was worried with a guy like Dre, especially, that he was kind of falling into some bad habits in terms of ball security. He was a very good player. Happy to have him tonight. But Dre was certainly not as efficient as you would have liked, and just in terms of ball handling. He was plenty efficient in terms of shooting. He finishes with 24 minutes on the night in a decent performance. Then you had Kamani Hamilton, who I thought was pretty good tonight. Didn't take a ton of shots, didn't get a single defensive rebound, which I thought was a little odd. 3 assists and no turnovers is nice. He finishes 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. 1 steal, only 2 personal fouls. That was nice to see. It was an okay performance for Kamani. I felt like he could have done more, but at the same time, against a team like this, you don't really want to exert yourself too much and risk things like injury. Jacob Benarby had a kind of a tale of he's kind of Jekyll and Hyde in a lot of ways. He did finish with 11 or 7 points. The best part about Jacob's game tonight was easily his offensive and defensive rebounding. He was, I guess, his defensive rebounding more than anything. Jacob finishes with 11 defensive rebounds, 1 offensive rebound, 1 stock, one block, 1 steal, no turnovers, no assists. Jacob, he smoked, he was 2 of 5 from the field, and all 3 of his misses were kind of smoked, pretty open layups. So that was a little, not great to see. I felt like he could have been a lot more efficient. And really, that's something I'll say about the Rebel offense in general tonight. Just was not optimal. The Rebels offense has been kind of it's good for 5 or 10 minutes, and then it really struggles, and then it's good for 10 minutes. It doesn't seem like they have their offensive identity together quite yet, which at this point in the season is something they probably need to have figured out by now. Tyron Jones continues to be maybe the best player on the team a lot of nights. Tyron's just an awesome athlete. His offensive rating is absurd. He was a 172 offensive rating, 5 of 8 from 2. He made the only 3 that he took tonight. He finishes 2 of 2 from the free throw line, only 4 rebounds, no assists, no turnovers, 2 blocks. Tyron was awesome tonight. If the Rebels had played him more, he only played 18 minutes. If the Rebels had played him more, they probably would have won this game by 100, by 100 points. They could have won this game by 100 points if everybody had been shooting. Moving on to the bench, there was a couple of really bad performances. I thought Al Green, he did finish 3 of 4 from inside the arc, so he was scoring at the rim a little bit. But Al Green 0 of 5 from 3, and all of his looks were pretty open. He has 1 assist, 1 turnover, 2 blocks, 2 steals. One thing I'll say about Al is he did get 6 rebounds. I mean, that's nice as a guard to see a guy kind of crashing in to the rim. Likewise, Emmanuel Stephan had a little bit of foul trouble, 4 fouls, 10 points, 8 boards. I kind of want more from Emmanuel Stephan, and sometimes I have to remember that he's basically a freshman. He's playing kind of as a freshman a lot. Not a ton of experience. I think he's just too talented to only have been on the floor for 21 minutes and to finish with only 8 rebounds. I want to see more from him in terms of the boards. And I think if you want to know why Jacob Benarbi is starting over Emmanuel Stephan right now, it's because of the rebounding and a little bit of the defense. Jacob's just been a steadier presence on the board. And I don't know that the team needs Emmanuel Stephan to be taking 15 shots a game. And so ultimately, that's why Benarbi's getting the nod right now, and I think that's probably the right call. I like Emmanuel Stephan. I think he's the best center on the roster. He's really the only center on the roster. Benarbi's kind of a 4 or 5, but not a bad performance from Stephan. But after that first game against Stanford, we would hope to be a little bit better than this. But I guess we'll see. Stephan, still a good player. I'm still happy to have him. I think he could still be. I think it's going to be pivotal for him to be a better player than he's been right now in conference play. Then the last couple of players, Isaac Williamson, he played 21 minutes, 2 of 4 from 2, 0 of 1 from 3, hit both of his free throws, had a couple of turnovers, did have 3 assists, had a block, a steal, and 1 foul. Isaac, after that Memphis game early on in the season, it really felt like Isaac was going to be that number 2 overall guard on the roster. And I'm a little worried about Isaac's positioning on the team right now. Not because he's not going to play. He's still going to play plenty, and he should play plenty. He's a really good player. But sometimes the defensive effort kind of wanes a little bit. And I think sometimes his offense, if he's not hitting his 3, isn't quite there. So Isaac's a great player. And again, he's a freshman, so you can't really expect him to be the craziest consistent player on the team. But something to look out for is Isaac's minutes, as the team clearly needs guard play, as Howie Fleming's not really a true point guard. And yet we're asking him to play true point guard a lot. And Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn is pretty clearly a 2 guard. Isaac has a chance to be a significant part of the rotation if he wants to be, if he can play good defense. And I think that's really all it's going to take. And obviously he's got to be a relevant ball handler as well. Then kind of the last player that played real minutes is Naz Cunningham. He played 20 minutes. Naz did go 0 of 4 from 3. Part of the Rebels were horrific from the 3-point line tonight, 6 of 25, 24%. Some of those shots, you just have to hope that they go in. I mean, he had 2 assists, 2 rebounds, no turnovers, so good for him. He had a couple of blocks, including 1 incredible block, a couple of steals. Naz has too much talent, man. I need to see him get the ball in the basket because, I could tell that he was kind of playing out of the offense earlier on in the season. And Naz is a guy that, needs to play together, needs to play as a team, needs to play as a team player, and hasn't always been doing that. And so ultimately, Naz is a guy that, if his shot's going, it's going to look like the best player in the league, in the league some nights. And if his shot's not going, he's not. And I feel like he just needs to find a way to impact the game, besides scoring, which he's trying to do, but sometimes it takes time to learn those things. And again, he's basically, I mean, he is a freshman. And so Nas, I thought I saw some things from Nas tonight that I really liked. I'm sure he's frustrated that he didn't score more. He could have scored more. He was really unselfish, sometimes maybe even to a fault. And Nas, I thought, while it wasn't a great performance, showed me some things that means that he's willing, that he's kind of buying into Coach Passner's system. And so excited for Nas. Again, overall, this performance, guys, I'll be honest, I wasn't really that impressed by it. Now, look, um, it's hard to be too impressed by a team playing a La Sierra team that is horrific. Um, and, I thought that the Rebels could have played a lot better with a lot more attention to detail. Um, so anyway, that's kind of all I got for tonight. I'll throw up your guys' comments. Go Rebels. We look decent. Yeah, I mean, of course we look decent. You have to look decent against a team like La Sierra. Um, and that La Sierra team, I think, it was really horrific, man. I mean, they were terrible. They managed to score a little bit because of some shooting in the second half. But boy, oh boy, the Rebels were sloppy in this game offensively. They did not play that kind of crisp spot style that I was looking for. I think a game like this is only acceptable in early November. Scheduling it now seems pointless. Well, it's pretty difficult to schedule teams in late December, to be honest with you. And the Rebels, because of the road trip, because of the rodeo, always kind of have to schedule a weird team like this at the end of December. So, like, I hope it's somebody better than La Sierra, but it is what it is. Noah says it looks like his teammates don't like playing with him. I'm not sure who you're talking about, Noah. I don't know if it's one of, if you're talking about the big guy on La Sierra, if you're talking about one of the Rebels. If you want to let me know, let me know. But yeah, I mean, there was some good tonight for sure. Tyron Jones, really good. There was some good I thought Kamani Hamilton played a really controlled game. I thought Dre Gibbs Lawhorn in that first 10 minutes, especially. Yeah, I don't know about Nas. I like Nas. I think his teammates like playing with him. I'll say that the people that I've talked to close to the team don't seem to think that. Um, but I don't really know what to make of Nas. I really don't. So you could be right. I like him. I think he's a fun player. I hope that his teammates like him. I think he's kind of young. I don't know if I'd say he's immature. I'm sure he wouldn't like me saying that, but um, anyway, yeah, because of the rodeo, because of the way that league schedules work out at this time of the year, we generally have to schedule a game like this in December. This is something that if you look through our schedules of years past, there's a bunch of games against teams like this. And so you play them, you move on, you try and play well. I can't lie, I wasn't super impressed. I'm a lot more. I'm going to be looking at this Air Force game and how we play in this Air Force game with a huge magnifying glass. The Rebels play Air Force on Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Thomas and Mack. I hope you guys can all come out to the game. Air Force is not a good team. Air Force is pretty bad. But we've seen Air Force come into the Thomas and Mack in previous years and really beat up on the Rebels. The Rebels are projected to win 81-66. Air Force has lost to a lot of teams. They're not good, again, like I've said before. But I guess we're gonna see, guys. I don't know. A hot take is that our freshmen aren't amazing. So I like that our freshmen aren't amazing, so they don't get poached. Well, our freshmen, if you consider, Emmanuel Stephan a freshman, which I think he has 4 years of eligibility remaining, even though he's technically listed as a sophomore. I think he's pretty good. Tyron Jones is going to get a lot of looks in this offseason. Retaining Tyron is going to be a big deal, but at the same time, if the Rebels can't afford to spend, $600,000, $700,000 on him as a player, probably. And so, trying to keep Tyron as much as we can is a huge deal. We'll see. He's going to be very in demand in this offseason. So, guys, that's going to be kind of where I'm going to end it today. I will do a pregame show before the Air Force game on Saturday. I talked about the Anthony Calandria situation with football enough, I think. Not a lot to say about it. Sucks, is what it is. You got to be smart about how you spend your money. And if Calandria came to the Rebels and said, "Hey, I'm leaving unless you guys pay me $2 million a year," the Rebels weren't going to be able to do that. In terms of coaching, if there's a big announcement for your UNLV football in terms of a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator change, we should be looking for some news for UNLV football this week at some point. Hopefully we get some clarity on what the staff is going to look like next year. But guys, thanks for checking out the show tonight. It's a late night. not a huge opponent. Can't imagine there's a lot of anyway. Can't imagine there's a lot of juice behind this one, but I want to keep consistent about doing my post game shows, no matter who the opponent is. A lot of things to look forward to. Hopefully, the Rebels. This game on Saturday is going to be a big indicator for me about what kind of team this Rebels going to be in conference play, as we see if they are a little serious or a little unserious. So, guys, have a great night. Like Sergeant Marty, who says, "Good night, all. Go Rebels." Appreciate you, brother. DJ Lagway to be a Rebel, please. That'd be great. My mom says, "Good job." Thank you, Mom. Appreciate you. Love you. All right, guys, let's run.